All right, let's do it. All right, I will call to order a special city council meeting for the city of Brookings for December 12th, 2025 at 6:01 p.m. Call the meeting to order. And really, the meeting itself, I think, has one agenda item to discuss.
Roll call.
Oh, okay, yeah.
I'm sorry, you pass that down.
Yeah, that's helpful. We're gonna be official, yeah. Oh, okay. Sorry, let's restart this.
Sorry.
Call to order. We'll stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, roll call.
Councilor Longworth.
Here.
Councilor Correa.
Here.
Councilor Martin.
Here.
Councilor Bolton. Here. Mayor Hodges.
Here.
We have a quorum.
Thank you. All right, council discussion regarding upcoming mayor and potential councilor vacancies. I don't know who wants to jump in.
Is there a council member interested in being appointed mayor before we consider the applicants for the opening?
My thoughts on it are that it should be one of us. I think bringing on someone from outside of the council into a position of mayor without having any council experience, I think is probably not the best idea. That's my thoughts on it. Not saying that I'm volunteering, but I'm saying that I feel like one of us should. Anyway.
I agree.
Well, I'll put it out there. I'm not interested in it. I have a lot of time commitments coming up with fishery meetings next year, where I have 6 meetings out of town that coincide with council meetings, along with running my own business. That's why if somebody here is interested in serving as mayor, I'd like to have the discussion about moving forward with that during the next meeting.
Then I will just go ahead and say that obviously I'm on my way out, and so that would not be an appropriate role for me to choose.
So everything to your left is a no.
I don't know that I would use the words that I'm interested because I think that's not really the appropriate word to use, but willing, yes. Terrified, yes, but willing, if that's what would be the desire of council.
And
for the record, you're into your regular term ends in 28.
Correct.
So if you were named mayor, you in 26 would have to rerun or, so anyway.
Yes, understood.
Understood. I just want to make sure everybody realizes that. I'm sure we all, I just want to make sure.
Yeah, which also means that whoever we appoint would have
3 years.
3 years. So 2, and then needing to run for election.
I would go along the same lines. I wouldn't say that I'm interested in the position either. I was very much hoping that Andy might be interested, to be honest. I think that his term ending in the time that he has left would have coincided well with the remainder of the term for the opening, and then it could have gone to an open election at that point. I thought that and then also the two of us could continue to, on this side of the table, could continue to serve out the remainder of our 3 years, and make the most of the time that we have. That being said, I would throw my name out there as an opportunity, but I wouldn't say that I'm adamant about wanting the position. I'm saying that I would serve if called upon. Anyway.
So I would say then, next steps would be, and I don't know how far people were wanting to, council was wanting to go tonight, but next steps would either be to consider this and have that decision on the January meeting, or we continue to go further tonight, but we've narrowed it down, I mean, in my view, pretty far.
What, I think knowing that people would be willing to step up and serve, that's what I wanted to know. That's why I wanted to have this meeting, to know if there weren't council members willing to serve in that position, do we, personally, am I looking at the 3 applicants, or am I trying to even recruit somebody? So that gives me, I'm thankful that there's 2 council members that are willing to step up, and that's the main thing. That's the main reason that I wanted to have this meeting.
Real quick, agreed. And Councilor Malmberg, when is your position up?
2028 as well.
Same. So this,
Same as mine.
so applicants would at least know that, at least for the most part. Okay.
And are we still sitting at 3? Okay.
And that's until the 5th,
Monday.
till Monday. And then as far as process goes and going through those applicants, I don't know what others' thoughts are, but personally, I think the way that it was handled when Councilor Malmberg and myself were appointed, I would like to see that process where we walk through doing interviews and select questions, and I think that would be advisable to proceed that way.
And we can have them here that evening on the 12th.
Do we have an idea of what that agenda is going to look like?
I'm trying to think.
I believe there were 2 or 3 items.
Yeah, I don't think there's anything,
Just wondering if it would be too timed,
well. and
time heavy.
I don't think so. I don't think those, I think the items that are on there, I don't think they're going to be too cumbersome that they're going to be here for a long time waiting, so.
So as far as then kind of coming up with questions as council, what I know Attorney Cooper said that she could get a list of questions. So what would that look like for us? How did that work before to select the questions?
I can send it out and kind of to all of you and see if there's a list. Do you remember, how long were the interviews the last time? Of course, I wasn't here.
Seemed like there was like
15
5 questions max, something like that.
Something like that?
We came up with, at each, from what I remember, most council members had one question that they wanted on there, and then there were some general ones that the attorney suggested. And, it worked out well. Most of those questions are probably, unless they deal specifically with the previous city manager, I think all those questions are still relevant. And there's still issues that the city's facing.
And Brooklyn still has all those, that data, so we can extract from that as well as what Lori throws out. And so.
And I believe you weren't aware of the questions ahead of time, were you?
No. So everybody was sequestered in another room. One by one came in and answered the questions, and on the fly. And
Yes.
it's not fun to go through, but I think that it's good.
It's awful.
Yeah, it's.
I am.
I think
like,
Clayton and I actually
it's-
ended up sitting next to each other in the EOC, and we were dead quiet. I think we were both terrified.
To stand up in a live interview down there with these people looking down on you on TV, it's a terrifying experience. And I think that, we don't want to get too technical or crazy with the questions. If you can avoid that, would be my recommendation, just because, we're wanting someone, not wanting to scare them off. So.
I would say, just as a reminder though, that time was a little bit different. And I think transparency was the council's focus at that time. I mean, obviously getting the right counsel, that's number one, but just trying to maintain a little bit of trust was really that. I believe that the culture has shifted at this point. I think you guys have a great approach in doing that again. I'm not saying not to, but just it is a little bit of a different time now.
Well, this fear, go ahead.
I was just going to say I agree with that, but I think building trust and continuing to build trust is something that always has to be strived for, and I think it's important. But I also think you can only tell so much by a few select questions on a piece of paper. So being able to hear from that person directly, I think, is helpful too.
I think the process will be simpler this time because there's fewer applicants, and I would suggest that we just give direction to the city manager to review those questions and maybe come up with some other questions and, email them. He can email them to us ahead of time, but do the same process where the applicants find out as they get to the meeting, when we ask them those questions.
Sure, we can do that.
Just we don't need this is an extremely important appointment, but it's, I have faith in our city manager of coming up with a list of questions to present to the applicants that night.
I'll have our city attorney just do a glance over too, just to make sure we're not stepping our toes in something that doesn't need to be in. But for the most part, I think we'll be okay. So, but I would like to have her blessing before we bring them forward, just to make sure.
And to be clear on the process, I believe prior to that, I will be stepping out of the seat. Hopes are that this all goes into what we've just discussed, and a nomination and an acceptance of the nomination and vote into the mayor's seat. And then from there, that open position will be who then you interview applicants for. So I will not be a part of any of that process. Okay, just being clear.
And what I would suggest, again, it's good. It's really good news to know that there's people here that are willing to step up. Current sitting council members, but begin the meeting, interview the applicants, and then go into a deliberation period where we select a mayor and then select a council member, and we would have multiple options of the people sitting at this table, and then also if there's more applicants or if we're super impressed with somebody during the interview.
Okay, so that would be a different process, and I'm not saying which way to go. But to clarify what you just said, Councilor Martin, you're saying actually
start the meeting with the interviews, and then go into a discussion, a deliberation period, and a motion could be made to appoint somebody as the mayor, and then the next discussion would be appointing the other council member.
So my question would be, and maybe it doesn't matter, but we would be interviewing people for an open position. It could be the mayor, it could be position, whatever these two are.
We could appoint a council member first and then have a discussion of who would we appoint.
But there's no open seat at that point.
That's my quandary in it
That's how we did
too.
it last time, though, we appointed a full council and then we select a mayor, I believe.
But somebody has to resign a position before there's a position open to
You appointed the
fill.
mayor before you brought me on, because that way there was still a vacancy.
I can double check with Lori too, just to make sure.
And it's,
Procedurally.
yeah, and at the end of the day, I'm happy to participate in that or not. I just would like us to know before.
Yeah, I will. We'll get with
Okay.
Lori just to verify, because,
You could explain that on the staff report.
Yeah.
Here's your options. That you can do
absolutely.
tonight.
Yep, absolutely.
Yep.
Great. Any other discussion to be had? Well, in that case, we'll adjourn the special meeting at 6:17.